Hey, YouTube, what's up? Okay, I just got an error from YouTube, though it looks like we're live. Let me double check on here. Um, yeah, give us 1 second. How's everybody out there doing? This is Greg from Greg's Tutoring NYC. How y'all doing? So you're gonna have Thursday is the big day for a lot of you guys, and I'm going to try to make an attempt to do a cover to cover to review. In the past, I actually started from page 1 and went through the whole thing. I'm going to jump to the Form A grid-ins for today, and let's kind of do this in a backwards way, maybe. Hopefully, I can get all the math done, at least by Thursday. Um, some of you guys taking the test in 2 weeks, so there's still enough time to actually do this whole endeavor. Um, but between the pandemic and scheduling and so on, I haven't necessarily been able to catch up and get these guys this kind of thing going. I hope I started it actually in October, and we're finally at November 28th. So I'm just going to jump in here and start doing some of the stuff. It's a lazy Sunday. I think it was actually snowing this morning. It might even still be snowing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up in pieces. Um, I think it's on December 4th, but it starts on the 2nd. There's about 6 dates or whatever for the SHSAT this year. Some are in class at your middle school, and some if you're in grade 9 or a non-DOE student, you're taking it either this weekend or the weekend after that. And I have a feeling because of COVID, they might even randomly add an extra day. Registration is definitely over, so you guys should be got your act together at this point. Um, Again, I'm doing this really late here, but if there's anybody who can grok a point is still a point. And as we know, the points are weighted, so you might actually end up getting 10 points. All right. My throat is already given out because I tutored a few kids already today. Welcome. There's a couple people in the lobby. Um, if you go to my website, GregsTutoringNYC, I have a list of the dates on there under the SHSAT section. You could also go to schools.nyc.gov and click on enrollment and then drop down to specialized high schools, and it will also give you guys a whole bunch of details about what's going on there. So here's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm going to jump straight into the math. I'm going to skip over the ELA and hopefully get to the ELA at some point. I can't guarantee that because for some of you guys starting on Thursday, it's kind of getting tight. Okay. And then for the math, what I'm going to do is probably halt the stream and keep coming on every half an hour because I have other stuff I'm doing today, and hopefully get a whole bunch of the grid-ins and the multiple choice questions answered. I don't know if I can get them all answered by the end of today, but what we're probably going to do is some bite-sized things, about 45 minutes each, where I'm going to take off a bite of some of the stuff. The first one is going to be the 5 grid-ins, and then I'm going to end that, probably eat some lunch, and then come back. All right. Like I said, I've tutored some other kids. I have some other stuff going on, so I'm just going to try to balance it back and forth because I think if I do it during the week, which I'm probably still going to do. I either have to do it during the day when none of you are logged on, and then you can catch it on the replay or whatever. All right. So with that in mind, let's let's kind of start just jumping right into here. So as you all probably know, on the grid-ins, you need to grid in the answer. They don't give you the answers. You have to figure it out yourself. Okay? It's important to go to the DOA handbook and read the part that explains how to bubble in the grid-in sections. There's a minus sign, and then your answer, and then if you leave spaces, certain weird things can happen, and all this other kind of stuff like that. So read that section really seriously. Also, some of you may not know that after Form A and after Form B in the handbook, there's actually extra examples. The extra examples are for grade 9 and for grid-ins. There's extra grid-in questions there. So in those answers for the grid-ins, they actually show you how to bubble in the answers for those. So there's a lot of reason to, kind of have that. So, but follow the directions. At this point, you guys should know how to read the directions. They're not going to change by test day, okay? But basically, do not fill in a circle under an unused box. Do not leave a blank. So if you circle a bubble in, you have to write the number on the top. If you don't circle a bubble in, don't write a number on top, okay? And if a number's positive, you just skip the first column as per the thing. And if it's negative, you're going to circle in the dash and write the dash, okay? You have to do both, okay? All right, so with that in mind, let's start with the first problem. And I did this kind of as a surprise. I really didn't even know I was going to start this today myself right now either, but here we are. So I like to look at the illustration first and not the words. In this case, we really don't have many words, but so that's cool. We can almost really read it. They're trying to look for X in PQRS, which they're telling us is a parallelogram. So that means this is parallel to that. And the double tick line is parallel to this, okay? It also means this here, this interior angle for P, and I'm going to give it two things because they already used one thing here and here. I just want to get you guys clear. The opposite angles on a parallelogram are also equal, okay? And then that means these opposite angles are also equal. I just drew three sloppy lines there. My handwriting is atrocious. It's just something you guys are going to have to deal with through this. Okay? So P and R are the same, and Q and S are the same. Okay? So they're asking us to find X, which is here. Okay? So it seems to me we need to find what Q is in order to find that. We know this here is 90 because we see that little squarey thing, right? That's our symbolism. They don't need to tell us that. We know it's 90. Okay? So it seems to me that if we know this whole thing here is 360, then we can take the 90 off, we can take what Q is, and we can figure it out, and then we can be left with whatever X is. So if I did the triple thing for Q and the triple thing for this S right here, that means we can get Q based on that. Well, we also know that the degrees on a line is 180, right? So therefore, S is 180 minus 72, or 108. Okay? That means Q is also 108. So that means if this whole circle here was 360, that we have everything we need to solve this problem, right? Because we're going to do 360 minus the 90 minus the 108. And we're going to subtract from that. Then minus the 90 minus 108 means we're going to do 360 minus 198. Okay, and the good thing about the SHSAT is that it's strongly arithmetic based, and normally the arithmetic where we need to do is not too bad, okay? So when we do 360 minus 198, we get 192. Okay, and that turns out to be the answer, or sorry, 162. And if you want, you can double check this by plugging it into here. It's going to be 162 over there. Okay, 162 plus 108 plus 90 will give you back to 360, all right? Okay, that's 58. So there's nothing odd about that. This is kind of a classic SHSAT question. It's also available on other exams. So I also like to think that I'm not just going over SHSAT questions, I'm also going over questions for other exams as well. All right, let me just make sure that the screen is okay. It seems to be. So 59 is a word problem. The owners of a tree farm plant pine trees and oak trees in the ratio of 8:3. So that means we have pine is to oak as 8:3. That's what it's telling us. It's writing the ratio in the same proportion respectively for the words. So because the 8 is first and pine trees is first, it's talking about pine trees there. And in the other case, because the 3 is second and oak is second, then oak is the 3. Okay, there's 11 parts here altogether. That may or may not matter. We don't know what the question is yet. All we're trying to do, that was supposed to be an O here. I don't know what happened there. What we're trying to do is map this into here. Then how many oak trees are planted if 264 pine trees are planted? So P is pine. So we're going to do 264. And by the way, you could approach this logically. You don't necessarily need to literally write it out as a proportion. Okay? And then they want to know how many oak trees. All right? So we're going to get 8x equals the 3 times or whatever. So what it basically means is we need to divide 8 into the 264. And when we do that, we get 8 times 3 is 24. We get 2 left over. And then we do it a second time. So each part turns out to be worth 33. Right? And if there's 3 parts oak, then the answer would be 99. I have the test in exactly 1 week. Yeah, use your nervousness to your advantage. Change it into positive energy. Uh, on the flip side, it would be weird if you weren't nervous, right? So you can use that to kind of get yourself pumped up. Remember, once you're there, the first 5 minutes is kind of it's the build up to it, and when you're there, just be happy and proud of what you're doing and where you are. Okay. So 60 is terribly easy. We're going to subtract 2w from both sides. This is just an algebra statement. This is weird. Could this be a field question? I don't know, right? So we're going to subtract 2w from both sides. And we're going to end with 2w equals minus 8. And then we're going to divide both sides by 2. In that case, that will cancel out. And we're going to have the 2 over here. And then we get minus 4. And that's it. We're done. That's the answer. This is a bonus question on a silver plate for you guys. So don't make a goofy error. A lot of you guys lose so many points on, quote, silly errors. This is a bonus point. And if you get enough correct in the section, this could be worth 10 points. So don't throw it away. It's a grid in. There's not even a shot at guessing it, right? And once you get the minus 4, plug it back in. Okay? because you're going to get 4 times minus 4 over here. So you're going to get minus 16, right? That's your double check. Plug it in and see if it works. And then you're going to get 2 times minus 4, so you're going to get minus 8, right? So minus 8 is minus 16. Voila. Okay? And as always with all these examples, no matter which math question it is, always watch out for your minus signs. I have mine on the second. Yeah. Are you guys ninth graders? I'm not a ninth grader. Are you? And by the way, for ninth graders, remember that the whole SHSAT 8 is a subset of SHSAT 9. So a SHSAT 9er should not just do the extra questions. You should be totally mastered SHSAT 8 to do SHSAT 9. Okay? Okay, I kind of like these questions, like 61 here with the bullet. It almost kind of lays it out for me what I need to do. So let's see what's going on here. A survey asks students what pet they have. Based on the results, the following statements are true. 20 students have cats, 23 have dogs, 3 have both, and 5. So this leaps out at me as a Venn diagram. And you don't need to do it with circles, but that's the way I prefer to do it. There's other ways to solve this. This is my preferred way to do it. So I see 2 categories of things in this case. There's cats and there's dogs. Okay, the third bullet is talking about both of them, and the fourth bullet is talking about neither of them. So there's technically 3 things. So if there's 20 cats, right, I can write the 20 in here because I don't know what the overlap is going to be. I know there's overlap because I can see it in the third bullet, but I'll put the 20 there. That's cats. Okay. It says 23 are dogs. Right. I don't know why that wrote out as 21. My software to do this writing is too slow. I need to solve that. All right, so we did this bullet. 20 have cats, 23 have. So 3 students have both. So what you need to do at this point is put the 3 in the middle. That's the overlap. That's cats plus dogs. But you can't stop there. You have to get rid of this, and this becomes 17, right? Because 17 plus 3 is 20. And then this 23 here becomes 20. Because 20 plus 3 is the 23. So we maintain the integrity of the respective people with cats and dogs and also adjust for the overlap. And then the last one says 5 people. So there's people outside here that's not within the Venn diagram, the 2 bubbles here. There's 5 people who have neither. All right? And that says how many were surveyed. So we're going to get 17 plus 3 plus 20 plus 5. So we get 25, 35, 45. We get 45. Okay, this kind of question is hard to double check because you kind of just have to do it a second time. And if you do it wrong, you're going to kind of get it wrong a second. Give me 1 second. My software's syncing here. One more second. I was trying to write 45 here. All right, so far, none of these are super terrible. Some of you kind of still have a problem with, say, 61, though. So be careful, especially because it's a grid in. Make sure you keep track of that subtraction. And you could say, hey, Greg, why don't you just write 17 and 3? It was obvious just looking at these first 2 things that was going on there. Just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. That's certainly a shortcut that you can both do. In other words, instead of starting from the 20, just write the 17 and the 3 in the first place and the 20 and the 3 in the first place. Yeah, you could do that. You could even argue this is something you should do in your head. My suggestion, generally speaking, is don't do the math problems in your head. So many kids do so many errors by making a goof up. Your short-term memory gets overloaded, as Sid H just said. They're nervous. You don't want to play with this. Write down as much as possible. Okay, 62. So this is the last question we're going to do for now, and then I might do some multiple choice later on today. This way I break up the video into different parts. Okay, the sum of two consecutive, and by the way, please like and subscribe. Yeah! So the sum of two consecutive integers is minus 15. So we're going to stop there. First of all, this is terminology. An integer is a whole number, right? And it doesn't have a fraction or a decimal part. Consecutive integers is like 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13, 100, let me use negative examples, like -5, -4, -3. So it's saying the sum of two consecutive integers. In other words, if I had x, comma, x plus 1, right? If x is an integer, then x plus 1 it's the consecutive integer. So that's all that is. That's terminology, and this comes up in a lot of SHSATs and also other examples. So if we would add those two together, we would get minus 15. Okay? So this is not rocket science. You know, you might think 15, 1 and 14, 2 and 13. It says they're consecutive. The only two numbers that would add up to 15 is 7 and 8. And in this case, they're minus 15. So the only two numbers where that could be true as consecutive integers is minus 8 and minus 7. Okay? And if you add them up, you get minus 15. So now the next part says, if 1 is added to the smaller integer. So what a lot of you guys do is you flip the order of these two things. Minus 7 is not less than minus 8. 7 is less than 8, but minus 7 is greater than minus 8. So that's the second problem with this question. So it says 1 is added to the smaller one. Okay, and 2 is subtracted from the larger one. So that means the two numbers we're talking about is minus 7, not the minus 7 on the right-hand side here. It's minus 8 plus 1 is minus 7. And now the second number is going to be minus 7 minus 2, which is minus 9. So again, remember what I said before. Negative signs are the death of a lot of you guys. And then it says the third part is what is the product of these two resulting integers. So all we have to do is multiply them. And a lot of you don't know your multiplication table, right? So anyway, the answer should be 63. A minus times a minus is a positive. So the answer turns out to be 63. All right, so I'm going to stop here and do multiple choice. Pretty sure I'm going to do at least one multiple choice section later. We'll run for about an hour. I don't know how long this took. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming this took about half an hour. I'll probably do more of those, and maybe even one later. Or what I might do is a marathon session, like an hour and a half, and just split it in two. I might do like 10 multiple choice, and then immediately followed by another video with another 10. That way we can bite size off some of these. But I think these weren't too bad. It was 61 that was kind of gotcha-ish. A lot of kids get that wrong. And 62 just confuses a lot of you guys. It's not hard math. It's just arithmetic. Take it a sentence at a time and just build up your answers. And so remember about minus signs, and remember about liking and subscribing. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully shortly after I eat lunch. Bye. Peace out.